Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time, hello, I'm Miss Williams. This is my co-host, my daughter Darlene. Darlene, say hi. Say hi. Hi. Yes, so you must have seen from the title, guys, your girl is a licensed driver. If you've been here for a while, you guys know I've been talking about learning how to drive, and yes, it took me 3 months of consistent concentration and lessons to get this license. Okay, yes, but it actually started 2 years ago, 2020, when I got a school, I paid, and I started the theory lessons. At least for some reason I just stopped. So this video I'm going to tell you guys how you can get your Finnish license in Finland and how you can do it in a very short period of time. Yes, because I believe that for someone like me, if I can drive, Darlene can drive. I was the last, so scared. Like, driving has been one of those things that I'm so scared of, been so scared of, and I can't believe I can actually hold a car, start it, and move it. That's a skill that, I said it before and I'm saying it again, that's a skill that everyone has to have before they turn 30. I don't care where you are, it is a life skill that you need in your life. And this is coming from an old woman. I'm 32 and I'm just learning, I'm just getting my license now. Okay, let's get into how it works here in Finland. Actually, it is pretty easy if you have the guts, if you're not that scared. But the finances, yes. So it started in 2020. I got my school, and what the laws, like the rules here are, you have 14 hours of practical driving and then 8 hours of theory lessons. And before you go for your theory test, you must have had 4 hours of practical driving. So in 2020, when I got my school, I went straight for the automatic gearing driver's license, because I'm not doing, like, no, I'm not dealing with manual, I'm not dealing with gearbox, I'm not touching clutch. Like, I even don't want to see, like, if you have manual car, just, I'm cutting you off. I can't deal with that. No, I'm not dealing with that. So I went for the automatic gearing system, and I took about 5 lessons in 2020, and then I just stopped. I think I became overwhelmed. No, not by the driving, but by life. 2020 was a mess, but I was having fun at that time. So much fun, yes. I was going out almost every day. Darlene was still very small, and I didn't even have time. Like, it was not necessary at that time. Like, even the Bible says God makes everything beautiful in his own time, and this is a story of that particular saying. So last year, in August, it became a necessity. Firstly, I had moved from where I used to live before to a new house. Darlene had to start school. I was still contemplating on whether to go back to school or to work, and whether or not I had to make a choice of learning how to drive or I just die in winter. Yes, so in August I decided to try the theory test, and mind you, the theory test in Finland is so difficult. It is difficult, I'm not going to lie, compared to other countries that I have seen, because yes, it is difficult. I took 1 week in my life, concentrated, really concentrated hard, and I went in for the first time and I passed, and I was shocked, because I'm not that person. I don't pass like that. I'm an average student, I'm not smart like that. So I was shocked. So because of that, I was just like, okay, this thing is, I'll just go and trash it. You know, I had taken my 4 hours of practical driving. Now, you know, at that time, as a new driver, you're being guarded and guided in the driving. Like, your teacher is there for everything, even though I had already driven on the road. So to me, I was like, it's going to be so easy. I'll just go and take the remaining hours and blah, 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 blah. In the 14 practical hours that you have to do, you have 1 hour that you go on the slippery track. And the slippery track here is basically going to drive on ice. That way you get the feeling of driving on snow, because half of the time, half of the year in Finland is actually winter. It's cold. Yes, and we have many months of snow on the road. So slippery driving is a must. So you have 1 hour of slippery driving, 1 hour of night driving, and 1 hour on the simulator. And the simulator is that machining thingy, like, yeah. And that night driving, you can either choose to take it on the simulator or on the road. Guys, I decided to take it on the simulator, and I even killed, I think I killed a deer or something. Like, it was terrible. It was so bad, but, you know, it didn't really matter. So I took the test, I passed, and then in October, I started school. Darlene too started school. As you guys know, our schools are really close, so I was struggling to get this license before I started my work practice. So I had to continue with the practical lessons, but my teacher that started with me was on vacation between August and when I started school, and that was when I had time, because Darlene would just go to school and I'll come back. She came back when I had started school, so the driving was so stressful to me. My school was 1 hour away from where I live. I'll have to leave in between classes. I'll go to school in the morning. I have a 1 hour class. Some days I'll even write a test, run from there, go to take a practical lesson, come back to school. It was so stressful. Like November, December, that was when I started. November, December was so stressful. So I took intense classes. I completed the 10 classes, the 10 hours or the 14 hours that I have. I did everything, and I was not ready. Even myself, I know I'm not ready. When I asked my teacher, she was like, no, you're not ready, you need more classes. So I had to pay for 5 more extra classes. And that is money, because mind you, 1 extra class is 75 euros. And this is what I say, at this point, if you have like your husband or a friend that can help you, this is where you stop for a while, and then they help you. Maybe they take their car and they put in the braking system on the other side of it, so they can guide you, at least legally. Or they can just take you sometimes in the night and they train you on the highway when the traffic is like almost empty. But I had nobody, so I had to pay for them extra classes, because yeah, I had no choice. I paid for the first 5. I still was not ready. I really was not. I had to pay again for 3 extra classes, and then I decided to go and take the test the first time. That was on the 21st of December. I quite remember very clearly. When I took the test, even me safe, like 10 minutes when I started driving, I knew that I was going to fail. Examiner would say left, Salu will go right. Examiner would say left, Salu will go right. And this was because I was so, of course, you're very nervous. I was so nervous. And because I kept losing the directions, it's not a problem in the driving exams. You can lose the direction. He can say left, you go right. It does not make you fail. However, if you don't put anybody in danger, it will not make you fail. However, it can take you to a road where you are not ready to enter. Like, it can take you to the highway, and that was my problem. I kept losing, I kept missing what he was saying and doing my own thing, and he kept taking me to the highway, which is my biggest challenge in driving. Joining highway traffic is a very big challenge for me, because I would join highway traffic on a speed of 40, which is so risky. So on that first day, I went, because I kept losing, like I kept not following what he was saying. I kept getting into highway roads. Oh my God. And joining the highway was just a mess. I failed. I was not disappointed. I knew I had to fail. Like, I knew I was going to fail. The second time, after that, I went back to school and I took 3 extra classes more. And then that second time, I was so ready. In my head, I really wanted to pass, because then it was already so snowy. It was so snowy. There was snow all over. So when I failed the first time, I remember having a discussion with a group of friends, and I was like, I want to wait for the snow to like reduce, which will be in April, before I try again, so the roads will be cleaner. And my friends were like, no, it's better for you to take it immediately. Like, it doesn't matter. The snow can play to your advantage, in the sense that there are some mistakes that you can make, but it will be overlooked because it is snowy. And the snow can make you fail. I was, leaning towards the direction of taking advantage of the snow. So I said, okay, let me try again. 2 weeks after I paid for lessons, took the test again, failed. The same mistakes I made in the beginning were the same mistakes I made again. And the evaluator was like, you drive so slowly, to the extent that at some point I could not even evaluate you. Like, you drive too slow. Yes. And that was my mistake. That was my problem. Like, joining the highway traffic, I will get into the highway on sometimes 20. I don't even know how I do. Like, it was like I was crazy. So yeah, when I came back on that day when I failed, I did not tell anybody. I did not tell even my husband. I was just, my voice was very low. I remember I could not talk, because at that point I had spent so much. And at that point, the money was coming out from my pocket, so it was really painful. My husband had given up. Like, after the first failure, he was like, okay, from now on you're on your own. So I did not tell him. When I failed, when the examiner said, I can't accept your driving, I came out of the car. I saw my teacher. I told her, I said, I'm not doing this anymore. I give up on driving. I'm not doing it anymore, at least not now that it's snowy. She was like, she gave me some really good words of encouragement. Let me tell you guys, that school that I went is the best. Legit. The teachers are nice, they are patient, they are friendly, they create, like, they form a relationship with you. You are so comfortable. The nurse will always be there, but it is just the best. She encouraged me, she gave examples of herself, like she cried, literally telling me, giving me words of encouragement. I was just crying. I was really broken. And I remember on that same day I had to do a bridal makeup. I don't know how I even did that. I came back home and I had to pay again for more classes. So I took two classes, just 2 classes, and I booked the next available space for a test, and it was 1 week after. Still did not tell anybody that I was going to take the test. When I failed, I came back. I remember I told just Kelly that I had failed on that day. So this 3rd time, I still did not tell anybody. I did not tell my husband. He didn't know what was going on. He didn't even know when I was going to take driving lessons. Took those lessons, and then I went again for the test. Guys, this time around, I was so ready. I was like, I don't have money. Like, when the money is coming from your pocket, it's different. Like, that's one thing. It was paining my chest. Mama me. So when on the day of the driving, I had to drive from the driving school to the starting point, and they call that place Ayovarma. So when I got to, the driving that morning was really bad. It was rough. Yes. At the end of this video, I'm going to give you, people that are preparing to take the test, I'm going to give you some tips that will help you. I drove, the driving was rough. So when we got there, my teacher was like, why do you keep doing the same mistakes, blah, 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 blah. I was like, please, I'm nervous, and I would like you to tell me my strengths. Don't keep capitalizing on the weaknesses, on the mistakes. Tell me the things that I know how to do well, so that I'll get them out of the way. I'll do them with confidence, and then I'll try to work on the things that I don't do well. So she was like, you know how to do this, you know how to do that, but just try to, work on these things. And then she said one last thing, which helped me and made me so comfortable and not nervous at all. She said, picture the instructor as your friend. You guys are going out to chill with the big boys. You guys are going to bam bam. Don't think about his vibe. Don't think about his attitude. Don't think about his facial expressions. Just think about him. Imagine it's your friend sitting there and you guys are going out. And that was what helped me, because at that point when the examiner came, fortunately for me, it was the same person that took me last week, the previous time. So he already knew my mistakes, and I knew that he was looking to see if I had corrected them. So I knew what I was going to work on already. When he came, as soon as he sat down, in my head, I was just like, okay, Kelly has come. Kelly is sitting down. Like, this is me and Kelly. We are going to eat rice. We are going to the restaurant. We are going to do what we know how to do best. We are going to the mall to shop. And that was how I successfully and without nerves drove. I did not miss any road, any direction. I did not miss any direction. I just was following everything. And I realized that he took me to the highway just one time. And when I got to that point when I had to enter the highway traffic, the way I mashed that accelerator, my leg, I wanted to just bust that place there and put my leg out and let it just come through the bonnet. I did not care. The speed there, the courage, Mikael Knight, guys, oh God. And yes, when we came back, we got back to Ayovarma. He was like, what do you think of the driving? Self-evaluate yourself. I said it was good. The snow was a little bit interrupting me, however, I made mistakes, but I corrected myself really fast. He said, yes, can you remember the mistakes? I said, yes. He said, okay. He evaluated me himself, and then when he was evaluating me, I was just like, oh my God. Before that, when you want to know that you have failed, once you're entering Ayovarma, they always just say, the examiner will just say, just stand here. Don't bother to park, just stand. On that day, that guy, the examiner said, go and park there. He pointed the place where he wanted me to go and park. And I went, come and see parking. Parking that has been one of my biggest challenges. I reversed that car. Reverse parking. Boom. Because the whole entire night before that driving lesson, I was watching only parking videos, parallel parking, reverse parking. Like, still it was a challenge, but on that day, it was just God. God made it very possible for me. And when he said, however, the driving has been accepted, I said, Uncle, wait. Please, I need to put this on video for receipts. Yes. I said, let me just take my phone. 1 second. I took my phone. This is the video you guys are going to see. He was giving.
And this document works here inside of Finland, not abroad, not in Ahvenanmaa. And it takes about 2-3 weeks, and then you will have a permanent driving license by post. Just wait it. You don't have to do anything about it. Just wait. And it's valid next 50 years. 15 years, not 50. 15. And after the 15 years, you have to update it.
Yes.
Some way. Okay, I need that permanent driving license.
Giving me, yes, you have your license. It's going to last for 15 years. You can use it all over, anywhere in EU, blah, 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 and blah. I was like, hey! I almost died. I could not believe that I had passed, but I had passed. And I'm a driver now. Oh, period. Period. So yeah, that was how it happened. I was so happy for my teacher. I'm so proud of that woman. Like, she tried. Okay, she tried. I don't mind spending all the money that I spent. It is all worth it. And now we just need a small nice car, okay? I'm going to take you guys along that process of getting a car, because that is another stress for me. Yeah, guys, so that's how you can actually get your license if you want to. The first tip that I'll tell you is that when you start doing your driving lessons, especially the practical lessons, don't stop. Be consistent. Don't stop, and just be courageous. If you're especially if you're doing automatic, if you're courageous, you're going to, you will not even need extra classes. Trust me. The second tip is, when it's time for you to book your test, the time that you book your test, like the time of the day, is very important. Because trust me, if you are booking if your test is around lunch hour in this Finland, where people are rushing to go and eat, the traffic is crazy at that time. The traffic is crazy because people are on the rush. They are going to eat, and they don't have time. So somebody will just overtake you because you're wasting time, and that can lead to a big mistake, and you fail. I remember that was one of the problems that they told me the first time. So book your driving during hours like early in the morning, around 9, 10. It should not be more than 11, because I think lunch hour in Finland is like 12, midday, 11:30. So it should not be more than 11:30. Between 9 and 11:30 is really very good. Or after lunch hour, maybe 1 to 3. I don't know when those people close. Book it during that time. The traffic, especially on the highway, is really not too much. From 3, 4 o'clock, when offices are getting close, people are going back to the house, you will cry, eh? Ha! Except you're already a fine driver. The next thing I'll tell you is, take those extra lessons if need be, okay? If you feel like you need them, if you can afford them, and you don't have anybody to help you, take it. Take the extra lessons. For those who are still preparing for their theory test, please just take a week in your life. Go to need training. They call it need training, the part of your driving lesson, of your driving material, where they say need training. Consistently and continuously answer those questions every day, and there will be a day that you will have everything. I remember there was one time I had everything correct, and when you see that you're beginning to get like 90%, because that's what you need to pass, then you're ready. So yes, that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I think the next video I'm going to take you guys along the whole process of me trying to get a car in this Finland, and I'll explain to you my situation now, how it is. I don't have a work contract, but I intend to have a car, okay? Yes, because I don't want to forget, but it is super snowy outside. It's crazy. Thank you guys so much for watching. Before I go, stay pretty, stay slim, always smile. See you in my next video. Bye guys.